And now there seems to be a real awakening happening. Real awakening happening. Real awakening happening.
I got a hot question for you. So we had Claude scrape the internet for the most viral question, and here it is. This week, a hacktivist leaked the membership of Dialogue, a secret invitation-only society Peter Thiel founded in 2006, with a roster that reportedly includes a sitting Treasury Secretary, senators, and military and intelligence officials. So here's the question. Have you looked into this at all, and what's your take?
What's the group called? Did they find out the name?
Dialogue.
Oh, it's called Dialogue? I mean, my general instinct on Peter Thiel is no. His name is an anagram for the reptile. It's a no. He appears in the Epstein files so much after lying to Joe Rogan and saying like, oh, he helped me with some math stuff. It was weird. The emails were weird. It seems like they're like meeting up for dalliances and all across New York City. It's just weird. It's very strange, the emails, and it's a hard no. But also I think I had my opinion colored because Dave Rubin told me about how he partied with him on his island. He also has an island, by the way.
Who does?
Peter Thiel. I learned this from Dave Rubin. Mm-hmm. And Dave Rubin told me the story that still lives inside of me. And he'll deny it, but Peter Thiel will hear this and know I'm telling the truth because I couldn't have known it otherwise. But him and his husband went to Peter Thiel's island, which is in like off the coast of Hawaii. He just kind of bought an island. This is what you do at a certain level. And he has his house on it. And he, I guess, got to an age where he realized that like he needed somewhere to dump his wealth, so he decided to have a kid. You know, got a surrogate, whatever. And he said it was the weirdest thing because once his son was born, they all were there on the island. And Peter Thiel is building a house next door for the nannies to raise the child. And he said when they brought the child around the table at his house, they were basically like the servants were like presenting the child, and Peter was just sort of like looking at the child like, yes, yeah, there he is or whatever. And it was like very strange and detached, and that, they partied with Peter Thiel, and I'll leave it at that. But I had my opinions about who Peter Thiel is was shaped by Dave Rubin. It's not a guy that I want in authority to make any decisions whatsoever. That's a dark, dark, dark future.
They just released a shit ton of names that are in this thing. Have you seen this yet? I think they did it while we were sitting in here. I just saw it on the last break. We'll put the names up on screen right now so everybody can read them. Here's the follow-up question. Across everything you've dug into, true crime, cults, criminal networks, what's the single most disturbing thing you've found that you actually believe is real? You come across some dark shit, so.
Yeah, I mean, the understanding of the pedophilia, that's all real. It's all real. It's occult worship, and it goes back to, like, they believe in sex magic. And
sex magic?
Sex magic. You could get into like Aleister Crowley, all that's real. I mean, he wrote books about it. It's not like they were trying to hide it, but these are the elites. Like these aren't people that are at the bottom. It's why I find it hilarious when people believe in the moon landings. I'm like, do you know the history of the Jet Propulsion Labs and that it was created by Aleister Crowley's acolyte, a protege, so to speak? These people wrote extensively about the sex parties they were having, that they thought they were summoning demons. They were summoning demons. I thought they were summoning demons. And they harm children. That is the world we live in. And I think that is very disturbing to have to contend with that. And the craziest part is the people that protect them. Oh, for money. That's hard to know that people I come up with in politics will look the other way for the right price. Think about that. Everyone knew what Epstein was doing, and then he was protected, and they knew that he went to prison.
The most transparent administration in American history. Before Trump, we didn't know the word transparency, apparently. It's been 12 months since you gave Republican influencers part one of the Epstein files. You said the list was on your desk. Then a memo came out and said that there was no list. Phase 2 of the binders never happened. The President of the United States says the Epstein thing is a hoax. He blasts his own base for wanting the release of the files. He blamed Barack Obama. Republicans voted against the release of the files in the Rules Committee. Then they refused to even return to the Rules Committee until they could be protected from future votes on the release. Speaker Johnson sends Congress home a day early before break. They sent the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Maxwell. She says something favorable about the president. Miraculously, she gets transferred to a minimum security facility. No one can explain why. Miraculously, the leaks to the Wall Street Journal stop. We come back from break. We have the Massey discharge petition. Republicans drop a rule, a non-binding resolution trying to kill the Massey discharge petition. The White House says passing the Massey discharge petition is a hostile act. Trying to stop the necessary 218 signatures, according to Republican members that signed it, the White House brought them into the Situation Room, you know, the place where the president goes for time of war, promising things like appropriations or maybe even to primary them. People in the room say you were there. It didn't work. We get the 218 signatures. We eventually passed the Massey petition. You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress, every member of the House except one, and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files. Kash Patel under oath said to Senator Kennedy, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. We know now that's not true. According to documents, Epstein had a worldwide sex trafficking ring. Girls from Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Paris, modeling agencies sending him girls. He even had a relationship with a summer camp where he groomed girls at a picnic table. Ghislaine Maxwell says 29 Epstein associates cut secret DOJ deals. Turns out there is a list. 6 names readily available if you unredact them. Co-conspirators named, but we got them when you unredact them. Maxwell recently tells a House Oversight Committee that she wants clemency to release more names. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James. Trump's name also appears more times in the Epstein file than Harry Potter's name appears in the 7 books about Harry Potter.
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the way
This
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion.
Yeah, she's got a little bit more too, by the way, because I guess she thought this was going to work. And I actually appreciate this response, this next response from Pam Bondi, her perspective on it, because I think it's honest. I appreciate it because it's honest. Take a listen.
They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million, and Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
It's simply amazing. It's as amazing as Mikey McCoy, right? She's just out there like, what? Let them have cake. Like, what is wrong with you guys? Okay. We're guilty. Guilty as charged. Yeah, Epstein's trafficking. It's a whole network. Everyone at the top is kind of a monster. Yeah, they've been trafficking children, harming children. There's all this Baal worship.
The video clip you're watching is titled Romance of a People, Baby Sacrifice to Idol Molech. This event occurred at the Chicago's World Fair in 1933. It was a Jewish historical pageant in which over 150,000 Jews were present and participated in this demonic ceremony. The baby sacrifice scene is explicitly described in archive records. This is the Getty's catalog entry, which explicitly describes a false idol Moloch, a priest holding wrapped up baby aloft for sacrifice. He throws baby into statue, and you can hear Cass screaming. The 1948ers is a reenactment of Moloch child sacrifice scene as part of the pageant. Whether someone later attempts to label this as theatrical or stage does not change what was publicly performed. I want to be clear, staging the rite is still practicing the rite.
I wanted to share something. After a long time of carrying this with me. My name is Shoshana Strog. I went through sexual abuse in my childhood by both of my parents. The sexual abuse was filmed, which means it was used for child pornography. Recently, a number of memories came back to me of the assault itself. I understood that it was probably also a ritual abuse. I contacted a woman on Facebook who tells a lot about ritual abuse that she also went through, and she referred me to someone named Naama Goldberg. Naama Goldberg, in fact, she told me that. She has a lot of information about ritual abuse. It took me a few days to contact Naama Goldberg, and when I contacted her, she was immediately available in an instant, and it seemed like she had been waiting on me to contact. And she actually sent me some kind of article that had just been published. I wasn't able to read the article to begin with, because of course it scared me very, very much. Actually, I won't tell you all the details, but what happened in my interaction with Naama Goldberg, it is that she actually hinted to me quite clearly, as it were, as if she was supporting me. But I actually realized that they have all of these pornographic videos. Naama literally said that she could ask someone to get these videos, which means that she has a direct connection to the person who has all this information. And it kind of scared me, and she threatened me that these videos can be published. And then I realized that this was a much, much more organized crime. I was also sexually abused as a child, but also actually, apparently, that I'm currently under threat from larger criminal figures. I feel threatened. I filed a complaint with the police about my parents before I left the country. Now I returned to Israel in panic because I realized that I was actually threatened by criminal figures. I asked Israel police to protect me both from these criminal figures and from my family. I would be happy for the public's help in spreading this to every possible party. And, of course, I will contact the police directly later day. Of course, this is very important. Thank you all for your support. I really appreciate the help in this regard.
And I was raised as a sex slave. My father had me separated from my mother and twin brother and administered a substance that was designed to sever my memory. Every time I was taken to or family vacation or trip to the cabin in the mountains, I was given this drug upon which everything would come flooding back. But when it wore off, so would the majority of my memories of it. And I would try to go to school, perform with my bands, be a regular person. But it broke me subconsciously. I knew something was very wrong, but I had internalized it on myself. And after an attempt in 2015, I got away from the slavery I was in by taking testosterone, transitioning to male. I left Colorado in 2017 and started piecing together back memories that I had assumed were only nightmares in about 2020.
The ritual abuse is different than other forms of sex trafficking because it's more than just being forced to have sexual relations with someone against your will. It's sacrifices of animals and people. It's in the middle of the night being taken from your home and taken to an undisclosed location. And sometimes they don't remember where they were taken, so then they don't even know if it was real.
I think it was David Icke who woke me up to the ancient cults and the bloodlines that continue to these generations. And I think you're the first survivor, perhaps, who's actually detailed how that has continued over the ages. So if you could maybe expand on that a little bit, I think the viewers would find this fascinating.
What specifically would you like expanded on?
So what was the cult that you mentioned earlier, the ancient one?
The cult of Baal, B-A-L.
Yes.
B-A-L.
Yep.
I know very little about it. My family masqueraded themselves as Jewish publicly. But behind closed doors, at Passover dinners, when I was drugged, would admit, we are Satanists.
I think about this shit all the time. It's so fascinating would be the right word, but it's interesting to see how these people think that they have amassed so much power, but they really have zero power. The only thing that they can really do is introduce a bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
they can't even often say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
They're powerless. They're controlled.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think that's a way to a means to control people is to get them into politics.
Yeah. They control Congress. There's no question about it.
But they really think that they have enough power.
Well, in many ways, they find people who are pedophiles already, and then they empower them.
Shoshana Struk The daughter of Israeli Minister Orit Struk has been found dead. The 34-year-old was found dead at her home in northern Israel. The circumstances of her death remain unclear, and the police have opened an investigation into the case. But a small protest took place in Jerusalem after her death because of her shocking history. Since last year, Shoshana had been accusing her own parents of sexually abusing her and forcing her to take part in sexual abuse rituals. She accused her mother, the Israeli settlements minister, of taking her to what she called pedophile ceremonies. From the age of only 2.5, Shoshana Struk had put up multiple social media posts and testimonies about the abuse. She had also filed a police complaint. The Israeli police have said that they were unable to verify any of Shoshana Struk's claims. But the details of their investigation is still unclear. What's more, an Israeli court had issued a gag order on the investigation, which prevented Israeli media from publishing details about the case.
Minister's daughter found dead after accusing parents of abuse. What's the story? The death of Shoshana Struk, the 34-year-old daughter of Israeli settlement minister Orit Struk, has sparked widespread controversy across Israel, particularly in light of serious allegations she previously made against her parents. According to Israeli media reports, Shoshana was found dead inside her home, prompting authorities to launch an investigation into the circumstances surrounding her death. No official cause of death has been confirmed so far. Her mother, Minister Orit Struk, publicly mourned her daughter in a post on social media, expressing deep sorrow over the loss. However, the case quickly moved beyond a personal tragedy and into the public spotlight due to Shoshana's past statements.
Looking with lust is not a sin in Judaism.
What's the stance on pornography?
So pornography, when I'm asked this question...
Just to put you on the spot.
You did indeed. Okay, so my answer, when it's raised on my radio show, I have a male-female hour, and I'm very open about sexual subjects. I always ask if a wife calls me and says, my husband looks at pornography, I found on his computer, I have one question. How is your life of intimacy with your husband? Is it good? In other words, is the pornography in lieu of you or in addition to you? And I know this is not a religious answer, and I'm not even giving a religious answer. I'm giving what I think is a moral and realistic answer. Men want variety. And if adultery is a substitute for, if pornography is a substitute for one's wife, it's awful. If it's a substitute for adultery, it's not awful. That is my unpredictable answer.
Well, there is a clinical rule of thumb that's akin to that, I would say. If you're trying to decide clinically whether someone's partaking in a habit, say use of alcohol, has reached the threshold of clinical significance, one of the things you do is ask the person you're assessing, now, is it interfering with your employment? Has it got you in trouble with the law? Is your family complaining? Does it stop you from doing other things that you should be doing? And so the judgment isn't the use of the forbidden substance itself. It is in some sense consequentialist. And I'm not saying that that's an absolute, but it is a hallmark of clinical judgment.
My name is Anya Wick, but at birth, I was Anya Beth Epstein. I was born in a house in Boulder. In 2015, I changed my name to Owen Theodore Epstein. In 2020, I changed it again to Anna Petrova. I had realized what I was surrounded by my entire life and thought I could hide from it. And I married a man named Wick, kept that name, and decided to start going public with my story just a few months ago. I had chemically driven amnesia the majority of my life. I am Jeff Epstein's niece, and I was raised as a sex slave.
Looking with lust is not a sin in Judaism.
What's the stance on pornography?
So pornography, When I'm asked this question,
just to put you on the spot.
You did indeed. Okay, so my answer, when it's raised on my radio show, I have a male-female hour, and I'm very open about sexual subjects. I always ask if a wife calls me and says, my husband looks at pornography, I found on his computer, I have one question. How is your life of intimacy with your husband? Is it good? In other words, is the pornography in lieu of you or in addition to you? And I know this is not a religious answer, and I'm not even giving a religious answer. I'm giving what I think is a moral and realistic answer. Men want variety. And if adultery is a substitute for, if pornography is a substitute for one's wife, it's awful. If it's a substitute for adultery, it's not awful. That is my unpredictable answer.
Well, there is a clinical rule of thumb that's akin to that, I would say. If you're trying to decide clinically whether someone's partaking in a habit, say use of alcohol, has reached the threshold of clinical significance, one of the things you do is ask the person you're assessing, is it interfering with your employment? Has it got you in trouble with the law? Is your family complaining? Does it stop you from doing other things that you should be doing? And so the judgment isn't the use of the forbidden substance itself. It is in some sense consequentialist. And I'm not saying that that's an absolute, but it is a hallmark of clinical judgment.
Give them churches, give them, I was shocked looking at the history of the Calvary Chapel Church when I was looking into Rob McCoy. It's unbelievable how many people are reformed, whatever, and then end up being reformed at all. It's a system. It's for sure a system, and that's not imagined. And you need to wake up and realize that our world is in fact being run by pedophiles. That's a fact. And if the Epstein thing didn't wake you up to the fact that it's left and right, you're still asleep. If you think that our troubles in this country are white versus black, you're still asleep. If you think it's gay versus straight, you're still asleep. If you think it's feminism versus chauvinism, you're still asleep. We've got way bigger problems, and these are ancient problems that we have. People that worship and summon demons and believe in the occult and do it in your face.
Nothing has caused so much controversy and the development of numerous theories as the thing called spirit cooking, an event that would normal person consider as bizarre and morbid. But for Marina and many Hollywood and music stars, it is completely normal. Marina would organize dinners where food is served in the form of human bodies or corpses. And those types of dinners would only have exclusive guests, such as movie stars, singers, and even politicians. Now, that same guests would often take their part in this and have fun with cutting out imaginary organs. Now, me personally, I cannot find any resemblance with anything other than cannibalism. Just chilling around some human heads and eat some body parts. Seems like a perfectly fine way to spend an evening, if your name is Jeffrey Dahmer. And it is no secret that many stars collaborated with Marina, whether it was because of some spiritual upliftment or something else. There are even rumors that on one occasion she left Lady Gaga completely naked in the middle of the forest to find her way back. Bizarre. Then, for example, this guy. The guy you may know from the cult movie American Psycho, or in the role of possibly the worst Joker ever to appear on the big screen. A guy who was also seen to attend these kinds of dinners. And to be perfectly honest, he's not the only one. Many more people from the music or film industry have passed through the hands of Marina Abramović. And there is the same question for all of them. Why? And if there is something that is not missing when her name is in question, there is accusations. Starting with brainwashing, through implementing some ideologies, all the way to practicing witchcraft and performing ritualistic practices.
Like in 1974, when she sought to, quote, re-evoke the energy of extreme bodily pain using a large petroleum-drenched pentagram, which the artist lit on fire at the start of the performance. Standing outside of the pentagram, Abramović cut her nails, her toenails, and her hair. When she finished with each, she threw the clippings into the flames, creating a burst of light each time, burning the pentagram, representing a physical and mental purification.
The body art, in which Marina began to examine the limits of psychophysical endurance, is related to the festival in Edinburgh in 1973. The performance with 20 knives was the first in the series of 10 actions called Rhythms, and Marina then inflicted minor bodily injuries on herself for the first time. She used the knives by sticking them quickly between her fingers, and whenever she cut a finger in a hurry, she would take another knife. Her initial idea was to match the beater's rhythm so that she always knew in advance when the knife would touch her skin. In the action Rhythm 5, performed at the April meetings in 1973, she exposed herself to new dangers. She actually lit a fire around 5-pointed star, and after burning locks of hair and nails, she laid down in its center. She almost suffocated, and it took the audience a long time to understand that Marina was not pretending to be in trance, but really lost consciousness.
I believe Charlie's assassination was an occult ritual. Everything about it. Yeah, everything about it. And I believe the people around him are into dark, demonic stuff.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
I mean, when you told me at dinner that he was assassinated in the middle of a pentagram, I was like, holy shit.
When someone sent me an old Freemason Bible and it showed how they believe that you have to be in a pentagram to sacrifice someone, literally shows you, like there's the map inside of the Freemason Bible. And I looked at it and I said, Charlie was sitting in a pentagram. Sorry,
where did the Freemasons come from?
Well,
you know the history of that?
Yeah, I actually just read a book for in our book club called The Secret History of America by Nicholas Hager. Really, really important read. An academic read, but a very challenging one, an important one to get into the history of Freemasonry. And I guess Freemasonry, in many ways, obviously, it traces back. It's biblical. So you have to think about different iterations. So it's like Solomon's temple. The Masons of the temple is kind of what they're hinting at. But in terms of like the modern introduction into Western society, it begins with Francis Bacon and Paris, where Paris seems to be the home of a lot of the things that have happened in these secret societies. It's like they go to Paris to be initiated. The same thing for Sigmund Freud. He studied under Charcot, and he was similarly initiated. I don't think it's a coincidence that Paris's code is 33. If you want to dial out to Paris, it's 33. It's home of the French Revolution. There's a lot that has happened in Paris. There's a lot of evil that is taken place. But the Freemason Society, I mean, this gets into the infiltration of the Knights Templar, an intentional infiltration by Adam Weishaupt, who was funding the infiltration of various Freemason groups and bringing them all together under the Illuminati. Our founding fathers were Freemasons, and the Nicholas Hager book carefully walks you through even the symbolism on the back of a $1 bill. And to be clear, when they joined the Illuminati, it was after the Revolutionary War, but it was always done in mind, and Adam Weishaupt was an open Satanist, with using Christianity as a shell to further their satanic causes. So you have to really go backward to understand the theology, the infiltration, how the Scottish Rite, which is the Scottish Rite Freemasons, which had everything to do with establishing America, was really dating back from France, and the Catholic Church having Jacques de Molay hung. I think he was hung, he was killed. And these groups then went into Scotland And you can that book just helps you trace how these Freemason groups arrived into America. And for them, it was seen as a new Atlantis. Okay. We keep getting caught doing all this crazy stuff across the European continent. It's always been a war against the Catholic Church. They're all explicit in their hatred of the Catholic Church, which is very compelling to me. It's
Why do you think they're against the Catholics so much?
Because the Catholics were calling them what they were, Satanists. I mean, the rewrite of history, Isabella of Spain, she should be sainted. They're constantly, everything you've learned about Catholicism and the history of Catholicism is just crap in school. And there's a reason for that, because America was designed to be anti-Catholic, to be anti-Orthodox. And the reason is because Catholics hold the history. They know what they were doing on that continent. America is supposed to be kept fat, happy, and young. I truly believe that. And now America, well, we were fat, happy, and young for 250 years, and now we're arriving into our adolescent phase, and people are starting to look in the right places. It's why I encourage people to go to Russia.
But the last pope retired, so it was possible to meet here at the papal summer residence in the hills south of Rome. The older, former Pope Benedict said that the new man should pray in the place of honor reserved for the pontiff. But Pope Francis said no, they were brothers and they should pray side by side. But this whole idea of there now being a pope and an ex-pope in the Vatican is strange news.
Pope Francis prayed before Poland's holiest shrine, the Black Madonna of Jasna Góra. The Pope was also planning to tour the grounds of the former Nazi extermination.
As the statue of Our Lady of Madonna is black. So this black color could be the expression of sorrow, because according to the Christian tradition, Virgin Mary was knowing from very beginning that her child, her son, will be suffering, and this color is expression of her sorrow. There is another explanation relating to the book Solomon's Song of Songs, where the girl is saying, in spite that I am black, I am the beautiful. So this is two explanations, but there is also another explanation that is saying that this wood, it's ebony, is very good and very strong wood, that the material is very precious, that is fitting to be used for the statue of Our Lady.
Сейчас краска будет, да?
Russia holds the key to a lot of secrets of these maniacal psychopaths who have arrived in America, who say, well, my great so-and-so went to Russia. Got you clocked. Know exactly who your great-grandfather must have been and your bloodthirst. The Bible says you will know them by their fruits. You do. You do. Do you have to imagine who Mark Levin's ancestors were who were in Russia? No, I gotta guess. I'm gonna guess they were killing the shit out of Bolsheviks, if I just had to guess. I mean, they were killing the shit out of Christians, if I had to guess. I mean, they must have been they must have built the Gulag system. There's a bloodlust that exists and an anger that is just so perceptible that's why you say you will know them by their fruits. It's the way they speak about people. There's a happiness in their eyes when they're talking about like murder. It's weird. Sometimes when I watch clips that will go viral of Ben Shapiro or Mark Levin, there's something in their like demeanor and their eyes that it's so dark. I mean, it's so dark where you really go, I think you are happy. It makes you happy when kids are being killed in Gaza. Like there's something, it's very disturbing. They're not having the same reaction as we are having. And you see it in their tweets. They're hungry for more death and destruction.
Oh no, I've seen it. I've seen it in person.
It's dark.
I've seen it here in this room.
It's dark. That can only come from worshiping
like they're fucking foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. That can only
Like a
come
demon.
from the Prince of Darkness. Because when spirits are light and happy and you have a reaction to seeing a dead kid, doesn't matter what the race of the kid is. Doesn't matter what the race of the kid is. You don't get up on the airways and go, oh, well, that's what happens. You're going to get some more of that. Like what Ben Gavir is saying, there's something very wrong with these people. And so you don't have to imagine who they are the children of. And to the people who really do believe that God's chosen people rape, murder, destroy, pillage, lie, deceive, blackmail Jeffrey Epstein, all of our politicians, buy, purchase, threaten, manipulate. Goodness, you may really want to crack open a Bible if you think that those are the signs of God's chosen people. Shoot presidents in broad daylight. Yeah, no. It shouldn't take you a theology course. You just take a little bit of common sense to tell you that no, that is not what God's chosen people do. God's chosen people were, as it was prophesied, Christ was going to come. God's chosen people, it was prophesied. And guess what they did when Christ came? They followed him. And at the moment that you followed Christ and became a Christian, you didn't become unchosen. Christians are the chosen people because Christians, real Christians, not the ones who have been baptized in the liturgy of the Holocaust and are defending these demonic actions, but the ones who are willing to take being maimed and caricatured and smeared and lied about to say something that is true, which is that we're not pro-life sometimes, okay? We're pro-life all the time. Life is precious, and murder is never okay. Yeah, I think that it should be abundantly obvious at this moment in time, at this moment in history, who God's chosen actually are. And it ain't the Polish Bibi Netanyahu. Now, this guy is very controversial. We don't have that much time to get into it. We'll have to save his story for another day, but he essentially becomes the face of Auschwitz. He published tons of literature about what happened while he was at Auschwitz as a survivor. And then other survivors of Auschwitz said he was making it all up and he was never there. And then they couldn't find him in the records. And they said, I mean, this is another Auschwitz survivor, that he was stealing the identity of another person who was there, but it wasn't him. It gets crazy. I only mention that because you will again see that identity crisis could have been the name of this series. It seems to be a running theme in this family. And also identity crisis is a running theme with anything that involves Israel. And here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
The fact that you would try to say, I am Jewish and this is what I believe, and do and say the things that you are doing. People can see and hear evil, and what you are doing right now is an act of evil. The lies that you are telling, not just on me, but also on my family members, are a good example for the world to see what we are referring to when we call something radical Zionism. And that's why you don't have to get into the weeds on it either. It's like, you know, God gave you intuition, you know? He gave you intuition to know when somebody is spiritually disturbed, and that's putting it mildly. Something about post-October 7th, you can see the flicker of demonology in their eyes now, and the satisfaction they get from knowing that they're hurting other people.
I mean, we just read that tweet.
Yeah. Honest.
There's 1,000 more just like it.
Honest.
From other people in powerful positions over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many things that just, I mean, to me, that prove how bad the influence is. Like sending that fucking pedophile back to Israel. You saw that, right? Well, he was in the cyber team, or they're one of the top guys in their cybersecurity fucking wing of the idea. I don't know, whatever. Came here luring, 12-year-olds or something in on the internet to fuck them. We didn't do anything to them. We just packaged them up and sent them back to Israel.
Where he can do that freely, by the way, because they've been harboring and protecting pedophiles for a while.
We're just cattle to them, right?
Because it gets into that Frankist faith that actually dominates the Frankist beginnings, the Frankist origins of Israel. That's not Judaism. The Star of David is not the Star of David. It's Solomon's Keys. Look up at Aleister Crowley's book. He's got the Star of David all over it. It's about summoning demons. It's Baal worship. And they don't want you to peer to know the history of that. But that's the reality. So Star of David. But people are waking up to that, and I think that's why they have a certain... It's almost like they're under pressure right now. Like their lust for destruction has never been louder. They're like shape-shifting. I think it's the best way to put it. I feel like we're watching people who used to play human shape-shift into demons in real life.
What do you think about all this UFO, UAP, alien shit that's coming out all of a sudden?
Distraction.
Do you think it's a distraction?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's a narrative and they're going to try to pull a false flag alien invasion?
I think the government has had technology and has hidden technology for a long time. And I think whenever they start threatening to do disclosures in a time where people are waking up about the ultimate disclosure, which is who rules over us, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of time to give us this. And now there seems to be a real awakening happening. People talking about demons, people talking about the occult, people talking about Baal worshippers and child sacrifice. And that's a real threat.
That's personally what I think all this UAP shit is. I think it's all demonic entities.
There are demonic entities around us.
I also think it's interesting how it is resurfaced right in the midst of the Epstein dish, right in the midst of Pam Bondi saying the Dow's at 50,000. How many people do you have coming after you? How many death threats do you get?
All day, every day.
Do you take them seriously?
Yeah. Yeah. We have a person in jail for trying to kill me. Yeah, I take him seriously. Because I said...
Tried to kill you?
For talking about Jewish history, talking about that Rabbi Schneerson tomb that Trump prayed over, and they all go into Brooklyn and pray over that guy.
According to the source, Trump was pushed by his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner to join the faith. At first, Trump resisted, stating it would threaten his base of evangelical Christian voters. However, he had a change of heart and officially converted in early 2017.
The great one, Mark Levin. And much more importantly, his much more brilliant wife. Where are you? There you are. Would you come on up here, both of you? Get up here. Get up here. Look, Every Saturday, every Sunday, I'm forced to watch television to listen to this guy talk about how freaking great I am. Because he does like Trump, there's no question about it. Come on up here, Mark, get up here. Come on up, what a beautiful couple. Did you get lucky? If you weren't a genius, you wouldn't have a wife like this. Mark, say a couple of words. Come in, darling. And these people do like Israel.
Hold on. And he loves Israel too.
It's true.
2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president."
It's true.
Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
In New York City, 20,000 Hasidic Jews still keep traditions which have remained unaltered for centuries. They are called the Lubavitch Chabad. The Lubavitch believe that they have the answer to the question, what is a Jew? Or more precisely, what does God expect of a Jew? God expects that a Jew should be someone who sticks rigidly to orthodox practices and to a fundamentalist reading of the Jewish Bible, the Torah. Crown Heights, Brooklyn is the headquarters of a movement which has set up communities in 28 countries. The influence of the Lubavitch is felt worldwide, but most notably in Israel, where Orthodox religious parties would like to achieve a purely religious state. Hasidism began in Eastern Europe in the 18th century and was argued over even then. It attracted thousands to its emotional, mystical worship, but existing orthodoxy opposed it. Hasidic life centers on a charismatic leader known as the Rebbe. The Lubavitch Rebbe is Menachem Mendel Schneerson. He's the seventh in a dynasty which stretches back 200 years. He is revered by his followers as father, guru, king, miracle worker, perhaps even Messiah.
And sometimes the rituals might involve someone who recently died, and we'll bring him down there. And we're trying to do a ritual to bring back the Messiah, which is a Schneerson, if you heard about him on the news. So he died many years ago, but we have rituals that we believe we can bring him back. And so...
so how do these rituals
Was that the main guy who was sort of instructing on the tunnels?
Well, that was a long time. He's like the head. He's the head rabbi, and he's the guy that we look for direction.
Right, and the news was saying that he is potentially not passed on.
Right, that's right. So we don't know that, so we try to do rituals to try to
bring him back.
Correct, exactly.
So how do these? Can you explain the rituals and why does it involve a mattress?
I don't want to go into the details of the rituals, but basically we don't put the body on the floor, we put the body on the mattress, and sometimes we might make an incision somewhere on the body, and a little bit of blood will come out. But I don't want to go into the details.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, you mentioned when we talked on the phone that you brought a book with you.
Yes.
Is this?
Yes, this is the type of book I bought, and this is the type of book that describes different types of rituals and things of that nature.
So how does that, can you explain the book?
Well, it's too detailed to go through the book, it's a detailed book, but I suggest if you have a chance and you want to get the book, you can read it.
The Book of Living and Dying.
Yes, the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying.
So where did you guys learn? You guys use this for the rituals? Is this an ancient Judaism thing?
No, we use some different books, and this is one of the books.
So how did you learn of this, though?
Again, through other members.
Okay. And you don't want to get into the ritual at all? So you're laying someone, who are these bodies that you're putting on the mattress?
These are basically members of the synagogue who recently passed away.
Oh. So they're dead?
Right, they're already dead.
Oh.
You missed that part, Tony?
I didn't know if there were people sacrificing their lives or something.
No, they're not sacrificing. They died of natural causes. Or
whatever.
And before you bury them in a cemetery, you basically bring them down
into the tunnel
for a ritual. That's it. It's more like it's not something spoken about, okay? But you can understand, just like other religions or something. When someone dies, they might keep the body in a house.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, same idea. So it would be no different than some other religion keeping a dead body in the house for a couple of days. They all have different rituals.
Yeah. So the incision you mentioned, can you describe What's that? The purpose of that?
Well, like I just said before, it's just a ritual, and the incision is just part of the ritual, and hoping to bring back the Messiah. You see, here's I brought some notes, and if you want to really go through it, so that's the book we use. That's the book to bring people from the afterlife. Okay, so if you believe in that, I don't know if you believe in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, so if you believe in the afterlife, then fine. Then you believe that many years ago in Egypt there was a method to bring people back from the afterlife, and we're using that type of method. Okay, and the thing is, like, what do you call the ritual itself? Okay, is basically what we believe in is to bring that individual back. And we might read some verses from the book. You know, I'm speaking to you in general.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
not given to you exactly, but those are some of the notes I have. You know, we said every person that dies in a ritual, we try to bring him back, the Messiah. Okay. We know the body is soulless. We know it's, and so you
Once they die,
right.
Do you shroud the body?
Do we shroud the body, like cover them up?
Yeah.
We'll cover them up, bring them, like, yes, but won't be covered up entirely.
Fully.
Correct. Exactly. So that's it. So the blood, like I said, see in my notes here, so the blood's from the incision made in a mattress, and we hope that the Messiah's spirit will come into that. That's what we hope for. Okay? We believe, like you said, you even brought it up, and you know that your sin was the Messiah. We believe in him. He died many years ago, but you said he might be alive, which is possible. And if he's dead, we try to bring him back. If he's alive, let it be.
So Dirk pulled up here on screen a wiki article kind of explaining how a sect of Judaism, of the synagogue you go to, they actually believe Schneerson did not die, quote. So is it possible?
Right, some believe that. Here's the whole thing. Remember, within the synagogue, within the members, not everyone has the same exact belief.
Right.
Okay, so there is different levels of Judaism, and there are different levels of Christianity, and there are different levels of everything. So not everyone is considered like when you say Jewish, there are some very religious Jews and some moderate Jews, so forth, and so not everyone has the same exact belief. Some believe that he's dead, some believe he's alive.
Right.
So you're trying to bring him back with this ritual. Some believe he is back. Does that mean the ritual worked?
For those that believe that he came back, then it worked for them.
Wow.
For those that didn't believe, it didn't work for them.
Well, that's pretty amazing. So you guys might have brought back the Messiah on Earth. He's living, the Messiah?
You should look into that guy.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What tomb?
Yeah, you start talking about the Chabad Lubavitch, and they lose their minds, the history of the Chabad Lubavitch. But if you open up looking into Sigmund Freud, if everyone listening could just read The Assault on Truth, and the second book after you read that is Sigmund Freud and the Jewish Mystical Tradition, you'll figure it out.
All right.
You'll figure it out.
There is something special about you, Judah. There is something special about you, Israel, or Yashara'al. When I say Judah, Yahwadah. That is the ancient pronunciation of the word. There is something special about you, Judah. Yahweh only spoke to you, to us, as a nation. And he spoke to no other nation. That's why we are supposed to be what? That light. We're Yah's chosen people that's separated. We're supposed to be the nation that's teaching the nations, not the nations teaching us.
Lion of Judah come upon the earth, bringing unquenchable fire. All the tribes of Israel and the believers stand in power. Speak with authority, worship uncontrollably. There's something about you, Judah. Fire upon the kingdom of darkness. We may suffer for a little while, but joy cometh in the morning.
Judah special, no wonder we were a chosen vessel. In and out of captivity, weaving like a pretzel. Messiah come through the tribe, clean out the bloodline. We disciples, so put us up on the front line. Face to face with crime, cause we ain't scared to grind. When you connect the divine, we stay pressed for time. Evangelize, can define, put us in prison in. Worship first, can we always invite the spirit in. Hold revival through a pen, stacking souls in empty bins. Joy in the morning, this a warning, you will never win. Fire upon the head of the serpent, he next tail chirping. It's too late cause your tail's already burning. I don't want your riches, got a mansion with gold streets. Movers all around me, the light shine, no police. The living used to be deceased, resurrected to a feast. Nothing like being in peace at the table with the meat.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was the... Jacob had 12 sons. For real, and these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.